Hey guys, how you doing? It's Nation here. So, I'm trying to keep more track on these 30k series things. So, let's run through some rules of the Night Lords. Now, I've just done a video for it. Some people said the quality was rubbish, so I switched back to the camera mode. Thank you to all the douchebags that throw out weird comments and stuff like that, saying the quality sucked. You're all douchebags. That's fine. Let's move on. So, we're going to look at the rules for the Night Lords. I'm not going to tell you how it works. I'm going to throw in some suggestions. You make up your own minds at the end of the day. There's a certain disclaimer on this. You will all be right. I will all be wrong. And therefore, I bow down to you, oh holy mighty people of the internet, who tell me I'm wrong when I'm reading from a book. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Now we've got that out of the way. So, we're going to concentrate on the rules of the Night Lords. I'll give you a bit of a understanding of how I've used them, how I think they work and stuff like that. And also as well, I'll see if I can grab the other book. There's another Rite of War, which I shall try and grab and find in the other book whilst we're going through this. It's somewhere, I'm not sure where, somewhere in the back here. Let's see if we can find it. There's the rules, Battles in the Age of Darkness, Iron Warriors, Imperial Fist, Ultramarines, Alpha Legion, Raven Guard, Iron Hand, Salamanders. Nothing, not on that page. Night Lords, cool. Right. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So, let's cover the basics first off. Legionnaires are Astartes, so they're Night Lords. If they're in the Night Lords Legion, they get the Legionnaires Astartes. Night Lords, talent for murder. Now, this is interesting. This is one of the hinge ones. Talent for murder. If a unit or units of models with Legionnaires Astartes, Night Lords special rule, outnumber one or more enemy infantry units during any initiative step in which they fight in an assault, they gain +1 to hit and to wound. Bulky models count as 2 models, and very bulky models count as 3 models for the purpose of working out when the Night Lords outnumber their victims. So 5 Terminators is 10 models. 10 models is 10 models, 20 guys is 20 guys, 10 Terminators is 20 guys. If that makes any sort of sense. One thing to remember this, Space Marines with jump packs are bulky, so 2 models. Okay. That's important. And one thing to also point out as well, +1 to hit and +1 to wound. So it's not +1 WS and it's not +1 strength. It's +1 to the dice roll. That's an important thing. So Nostrum Blood. All models with a special rule fall back 1 inch further than normal if they fail a pinning test. They may, if the controlling player wishes, fall back instead of becoming pinned, just as if they had failed a morale check for taking casualties in the shooting phase. Okay. Night Vision. All models in the Night Lord's primary detachment, not just those with Legionnaires Astartes Night Lord's special rule, have the Night Vision special rule. So everyone's got it. So it doesn't, and that basically means it includes tanks as well. It's not just the guys on the ground with Legionnaires Astartes. From the Shadows. Oh, the dog's sneezing for something. From the Shadows, all models with a special rule have a cover save of 5+ on a first game turn, even in open ground. This rule can be combined with effects of stealth, etc. as normal, but other forms of cover on the model might be which provide higher save supersede this. So now, that is my dog digging the carpet. Loki, what are you doing? Don't give me that look. So, that's also an interesting thing with night fighting. Seeds of Dissent. If an army's warlord is slain, each unit in the army with the special rule must take an immediate morale check as if they'd lost 25%, losing from shooting. So, that's fine. That makes sense. That happens with a lot of the legions. So basically, if your boss dies, all you guys got to do a leadership check. Sorry about that, my dog's digging was literally driving me bananas. Now he stood by the camera, so the camera might get a little bit shaky in a second if he knocks it. Or he might start digging again. I don't know. Right, so those are the special rules for Night Lords, Legionnaires, Astartes. Well, I'll try and wrap those into how I would use them. Excuse me. Legion specific units. So yeah, Terror Squads, which are elite choices, and Night Raptors, which are fast attack choice. That's fine. So these are the two Legion specific units. Legion specific war gear. Any character or independent character with the Legionnaires Astartes Night Lord special rule eligible to take a power weapon as part of their options may instead take a Nostraman chainglaive for the same listed cost. I would definitely do this if you're going for the power sword route, because a chainglaive is way better than a power sword. Way better. Okay. So it's not a Nostraman chainglaive, it's got no range, it's +1 strength, it's AP3, melee, two-handed, and rending. So, you don't get your extra attack. However, you get +1 strength, and it's rending. So it automatically makes it better. Remember this, +1 strength. So your standard Marines will go up to strength 5. Now, remember this whole, if you outnumber him you get +1 to your dice roll. So, if you're strength 5 going against toughness 4, you're wounding on 3s. If you outnumber them, you're wounding on 2s with AP3. Remember that. Night Raptors have a thing for that. Teleportation Transponder. Any Night Lord's Terminator squad or Night Lord's Legion Command squad equipped with Terminator armor may be upgraded to have the Deep Strike special rule for 15 points for the squad. Any Night Lord's independent character in Terminator armor may be upgraded to have Deep Strike rule for 10 points per model. Okay, that's cool. So, that basically means if you're not taking a drop pod army, you could take Terminators and still have them deep strike in, because in 30k your Terminators cannot deep strike as standard, not like 40k. That's an important thing. Trophies of Judgment. Ooh, not the camera. Any independent character can adorn themselves with the Trophies of Judgment for 5 points, gaining the Fear special rule. Fear special rule's a bit interesting. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't. Hang on a second, just wrestling with the dog. Right, bear with a sec. I swear this is going to be the most disjointed video ever. Right, okay, so things to bear in mind. Chainglaives are awesome. One thing you want to try and do, I would suggest, is try to outnumber your opponents. Now do that any way you can. So whether it be bulky models or jump pack models, lots of guys, Spartans, Charybdis, whatever, that's what you're aiming for. Outnumbering them. And it's at any initiative step, okay? So, remember that. If you kill a couple of guys, or say for example at the beginning of the combat, you don't outnumber them, but you kill a couple of guys and then your unwieldy guys are outnumbered. At that point you are outnumbering, then you get the extra bonus to it. So, also as well, remember +1 to hit. So if you can get weapon skill 5, you're hitting on 2s against weapon skill 4, that is. So weapon skill 5 versus weapon skill 4, in the way that the 40k or the rules work in 30k, if you're one higher, you say for example weapon skill 5 and weapon skill 4, you're hitting on 3s. Whereas if you're the same, you're hitting on 4s. If they're higher, you're still hitting on 4s. So, if you get a good weapon skill and you outnumber the units with a Nostraman chainglaive, you are hitting on 2s and wounding on 2s. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. So, let's move on. Rights of War. While my dog destroys the carpet. Right. I will get to the end of this video at some point. I will get to the end of this video. Right. Okay. So. Terror Assault. My dog is determined to ruin this video. So, I do apologise. I haven't said sorry yet for it, but I'm saying sorry now. So, this is an interesting one. I personally am not a massive fan of this one, but hey. So, the force may impose night fighting for the duration of the first game turn of any mission on a d6 roll of 2+. So, basically you don't have to do the whole 4+. Is it going to be night fighting, yes or no? It is just night fighting, pretty much, yes. Night fighting imposed in this manner carries on for the second game turn on a 4+, and on the third game turn of a 6+. While this special night fighting condition is in effect, all models with the Legionnaires Astartes Night Lord special rule gain +1 initiative to and +1 inch to their run distances. Right, okay, so this starts making things really interesting if you combine all of these things together. So if you do that, if it's night fighting, you're initiative 5. If you get into combat, you're weapon skill 5, you're hitting on 2s. If you've got a chain glaive, you're strength 5 and you're wounding on 2s. So you're basically hitting them easily before they even start. Before they even get to hit you back. So, yeah. That can be brutal. However, there are some limitations. Night Lord's terror squads must be taken as compulsory troop choices for a force using this right of war, and may be taken as additional troop choices if desired. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not overly keen on terror squads. Legion tactical squads, veteran squads, Legion veteran tactical squads, and Night Lord's terror squads may either take Dreadclaw drop pods or Legion drop pods as dedicated transports, so long as the number does not exceed the vehicle's transport capacity, and they may begin the game held in reserve inside your transport. So that's quite cool, because that means even if you're not taking a drop pod assault army, you can take drop pods, which starts making it more of a 40k game. Interesting. That's one thing. I think that got a ride. That wasn't quite that like that before. So, but it's only tactical squads, veteran squads, and terror squads that can do that. Detachment limitations. Detachments using this right of war must take an additional compulsory troop choice in addition to that usually required on their force organisation chart. So it means you have to have 3 troops choices. Now, this ties in with this up here. Terror tactics. Night Lord's terror squads must be taken as the compulsory troops choices for a force using this right of war. And that is saying that you have to take an extra one. So you have to take 3 terror squads. So that's where I'm not overly keen on it. Detachments using this right of war may only take a single heavy support choice as part of their force organisation chart. That's a bit limiting to me. I like heavy support. Detachment using this right of war may only take a single consort as part of their HQ choice. So there's no tag teaming can I get the words out? Librarians and Masters of Signal or Champions or anything like that. You can only take one. So you can take a Praetor and take one of those, but that's about it. So, yeah, and the controlling player may not take fortifications or other Space Marine allied detachment. So, yeah, if you're playing Fuffy, I could see there's definitely a way to work it. Just not overly keen on it. However, maybe one day we'll give it a try out with terror squads, but you need 3 terror squads. So I'm just bringing this book up here because there's another one. Horror Cult. So you read right of war, Horror Cult. Raptor Cult. Night Raptor squads may be taken as troop choice in the detachment using this right of war. That is awesome. Raptors are really expensive though. Beyond Judgment, any squad may be equipped with Trophies of Judgment, granting the squad with the Fear Special rule at a cost of 25 points per squad. So I don't see why you would do that, because it says here that you can take any character or independent character. Now, I'd have to double check and see if sergeants are still characters. I think they are, in which case you just pay 5 points for the sergeant to do it and leave the sergeant to last. Because if the sergeant's got it, the whole squad's got it. If the sergeant dies, then yeah, the squad doesn't have it anymore. So I'd probably, that's not really a thing. Talons of Fear. Any infantry squad of 10 or more models in this detachment may take a Charybdis Assault Claw as a dedicated transport. That's pretty insane. Imagine just running like 3 squads of 20 tactical marines, all in Charybdis. 1 Charybdis is bad enough. If you had 3 of them drop down, and that's not taking up any slots. So, limitations. Models in a detachment use this right of war have the Legionnaires Astartes Night Lord special rule, must always declare a charge if there is an enemy model they can harm in melee within 12 inches in the charge subphase. This, when it starts, like, it's kind of like the old rage thing, we have to go forward. A detachment using this right of war may not take fortifications detachments or Space Marine allied detachment. Yeah. And this right of war may not be taken as the detachment belonging to a loyalist faction. That's fair enough. So yeah, more keen on this one. It seems a bit more open. Yeah, the whole charging thing. Well, not sure. We'll cover that another time. So, well, see if we can get through all of this. Because, to be honest with you, why the hell not? So we've got a Terror Squad. 125 points for 5 guys. You get 4 executioners and 1 headsman. Executioner, infantry, headsman, infantry characters. Characters get trophies of judgment. Power armor, bolt pistol, chainsaw or combat blade, frag and crack grenades. Legionnaires Astartes, fear, infiltrate, preferred enemy, infantry, and precision strike. That's actually pretty nasty. Terror Squad maybe choose Dreadclaw drop pod as a dedicated transport. So they can't actually have rhinos, they can only have Dreadclaws. You can have up to 5 additional ones at 15 points each. Any model in the squad may also take one of the following options: bolt gun, heavy chain blade, Volkite charger, rotor cannon, or flamer. 1 model in the unit only. So, yeah. Flamer maybe, rotor cannon, maybe. Headsman may exchange their chainsaw to combat blade for power weapon, Nostrum chainglaive, power fist, single lightning claw. The headsman may exchange their bolt pistol for a hand flamer, plasma pistol. The headsman may also take one of the any of the following options. Melter bomb and artificer armor. They are your standard Space Marine stats. They have 2 attacks as standard, and that is it. So they're kind of like a buffed out veteran squad, really. Just a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. Night Lords Raptors, these guys are awesome. Now, this is where I find them interesting. Raptors are weapon skill 5. So, remember I was saying about weapon skill 5? And also jump packs being bulky? So, weapon skill 5, BS 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 1 wound, initiative 4, 1 attack is standard, 2 attacks for the Huntsmaster, leadership 8, leadership 9, 3 up. Yeah. So, 4 Night Raptors, 1 Huntsman, 150 points. Night Raptor, jump infantry, Huntsman character, so again can take the trophies of judgment, so they cause fear. Power armor, bolt pistol, chainsaw or combat blade, jump pack, frag and crack grenades, Legionnaires Astartes, and onslaught. We'll come to onslaught in a moment. The Night Raptor squad may take up to 10 additional Night Raptors, so you can have 15. They're 20 points each. So an extra 10 is 200 points. So you're looking at 350 points for 15 guys. Starts getting a bit brutal, that sort of thing. So, any model in the squad may exchange their chainsaw or combat blade for one of the following: power weapon, Nostrum chainglaive, single lightning claw, Nostrum chainglaive. So, if you remember I was saying weapon skill 5, so they might end up being initiative 5 if they're in night fighting. They'll have weapon skill 5, so against weapon skill 4 they'll be hitting on 2s, and they'll be strength 5, which means they'll be wounding on 2 with rending and AP 3 weaponry. Yeah, because they're bolt, and they are classified, jump packs are classified as bulky. Are they classified as bulky? I don't know that. I'll have to check on that rule, because it doesn't say here that they're bulky. Let's have a quick look back. Night a special rule, outnumber infantry units. Bulky step. Bulky models count as 2 models. That's generally quite interesting. I'm going to check something here. Oh, I just dropped something. 40k jump pack assault squads used to be bulky. I want to find out if they are. Command squad, Dreadnought Talon, Rapier, Contempt. We'll go through this book at some point. Tactical support squad. Should be tactical assault squad. Region. Tactical. Oh wait, so we've gone too far. What was it? Assault squad. So jump pack. So they're not bulky either. Let's have a look and see in the war gear. Have we got jump pack? Jump pack. Right. Where are we? Where are we? Jump packs, jump packs. Bear with a second, I'm going to find it off camera and I'll come back. Okay, had to go back to the 40k rulebook, yeah, and basically jump pack units get bulky and deep strike as standard. So basically means these models count as 2 for each. So if you had a squad of 15, that actually counts as 30 models. That makes them outnumber stuff. So, yeah. Sorry, this is really long-winded, this thing, but these guys are absolutely savage. 350 points, you could charge into anything and wreck it. You'd even be hurting a... Well, you'd be strength 5, so you'd be wounding on 5. You'd be wounding Primarchs on 4, which is... ugh. So, dog is out and about looking for stuff again. So, yeah. For every 5 models you can take a flamer, metal gun, plasma pistol or hand flamer. Alternatively, any model will make exchange their bolt pistol and or chainsaw / combat blade for a pair of lightning claws. So you can have an entire squad of lightning claws. The Huntsmaster may exchange their bolt pistol for one of the following: Volkite Serpenta, hand flamer, plasma pistol. Huntsmaster may also take melter bombs or artificer armor. Onslaught. This is the thing I wanted to get to. And determine which model with this rule charges into combat, it gains D3 extra attacks rather than 1. In the case of unit with multiple models of this rule, roll once and apply the rest to the whole thing. So, and then the rest of special characters, we'll go through those in another video because I've wasted enough time babbling on about all this stuff. So. But yeah, next video we'll go through the characters of the Night Lords and their rules and how you would apply them. So, I babbled on long enough. I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. You can make up your own minds about how you want to do it and come up with your own little niches and stuff like that. I know you will. Everyone does. And yeah, I'm sorry this video's been a bit disjointed. Dog is being a pain in the butt. See? Yeah, payback, huh? Right. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Take it steady and I'll catch you on the next one. Be safe. Bye-bye.